Bonjour! Wanted to talk about les adjectifs possessifs that we're seeing in chapter 5. So you will notice over on the left-hand side are English equivalents of my, your, his and her, our, your, and their. And then you'll notice the equivalents in French. So in English we just say my, but in French we have several choices, mon, ma, mes. With your, we have the choices of ton, ta, tes. With his and her, it is son, sa, ses. With our, we can choose notre, notre, and nos. In your, votre, votre, vos. And in their, we can choose leur, leur, and leur. Now, why do we have so many choices? Well, because of masculine, feminine, and plural. So in our first column here are mon, ton, son, notre, votre, and leur. We're going to see those are all masculine possessive adjectives. So what does that mean? That means if what I'm talking about or whom I'm talking about is masculine, I'm going to use those. Now the middle column here has ma, ta, sa, notre, votre, and leur. This is the feminine column. So if what I'm talking about is singular and feminine, then I'm going to use something from this column. And our final column is for plural. So we have mes, tes, ses, nos, vos, and leur. So I put a couple notes on the side. If I want to say my brother, mon frère, I'm using mon, not because I'm a boy, but because my brother is a boy. So I'm using mon frère. And I'm only talking about one brother, so I'm going to use the singular mon. Same if I'm talking about my sister, ma sœur. I'm going to use ma, not because I'm a girl, but because I'm talking about my sister, ma sœur, and she's a girl. So if we look in objects, sometimes this becomes more clear. So we have la chaise, and I can say, oh, sa chaise. Okay, it's her chair or his chair. If I make that plural, it's going to change. Les chaises. Then I'm going to use the plural because I used les. Now I'm going to use ces chaises. So the star down here at the bottom shows the important that we are agreeing in gender and number with our noun. So it's not with the speaker, but with whom or what we are speaking about. Now for some of them, that's a little bit more difficult than others. Mon, ma, mes, ton, ta, tes, son, sa, ses, those all have a masculine, a feminine, and a plural. Now you'll notice when we get to our and the more formal your, we have notre. That doesn't matter really whether it's masculine or feminine. We're always just going to use notre or votre. Now plural does, nos and vos. With their, we're going to use leur, leur. And when we speak, it still sounds the same, leur, but it does have an S when you write it. So that's something important to note. I hope this helps out. If you have questions, please do ask. One other thing that they do mention in your book that you will want to note is that if words start with a vowel, so they gave an example as like ami. So if I'm talking about a friend of mine that's a girl, ami, A-M-I-E. I'm still going to say mon ami. Why? Because ami starts with an A. And as we have been learning throughout our class, is when there is a vowel, the French are big in keeping their pronunciation consistent. So they want that mon ami because it flows better than if I was trying to say ma ami. So again, this is for words that begin with a vowel or what they call a muted H. And you will find that on page 126 of your ebook. It will talk about that. And so you'll want to go over that just to have it in your mind that if you do see something that starts with a vowel, that you are going to be using the masculine form mon, ton, son, notre, votre, and leur in order to have the correct pronunciation sound that you need. For everything else, it's simply going to follow these rules. Hope that helps. Au revoir.